Ketchup, a staple in kitchens worldwide, has a rich history dating back to the 17th century. Originally a concoction of pickled fish and spices in China, it transformed as it traveled, evolving into the tomato-based version we love in the early 19th century in America. Fast forward to today, making homemade ketchup has become a way to capture the essence of garden-fresh tomatoes. I've always been intrigued by the idea of making my own ketchup, especially because we're quite particular about the flavor. However, the thought of perfecting the texture and taste seemed daunting. But this year, with an exceptional tomato harvest from both my garden and greenhouse, I decided it was finally time. The bounty is still going strong even in late September, inspiring me to preserve a variety of tomato-based delights. Today I'm using a blend of San Marzano, speckled Roman, and the incredibly flavorful Constelluto Genovese. Recently, I perfected a delicious roasted tomato sauce, which I found to be a simpler alternative to traditional methods. Roasting the tomatoes intensifies their flavor and reduces the time needed for prolonged simmering. For today's ketchup, I have the tomatoes, roasted them flesh side up to enhance moisture evaporation. I put them in the oven at about 350 degrees for 30 to 45 minutes. After roasting, I prefer a smoother texture by removing the seeds and skin with a food mill. This tool efficiently separates the pulp while discarding the unwanted bits, ensuring a perfect base for the ketchup. For this recipe, I started with guidelines from the trusted Ball Book of Home Preserving, but tailored it using what I had on hand. I added finely diced sweet yellow onion and minced garlic from my garden, then layered in the spices. The foundation of the flavor came from my go-to Herbamare seasoning salt, followed by my spicy tomato-infused vinegar for tang. Balancing the acidity, I stirred in some of my honey with black pepper, ground cinnamon, mustard powder, and a careful pinch of ground cloves to complete the profile. Cloves are pretty potent, and a little goes a long way. Over the next hour, I let the mixture simmer, tasting and tweaking the seasoning to achieve the ideal balance. This methodical approach reflects my general cooking philosophy. Start with less and build the flavor as needed, relying on both taste and aroma to guide the adjustments. Once satisfied with the flavor, I used an immersion blender to achieve a silky smooth consistency. The final step involved ladling the ketchup into clean jars, securing the lids, and processing them in a water bath canner. I use the recommendations in the Ball Book of Home Preserving. I'll include links to this resource and the videos on vinegar and roasted tomato sauce in the video description. Tasting this homemade ketchup, especially with freshly made potatoes, confirmed it surpassed our usual store-bought variety. It was less sweet, more complex, and utterly satisfying. Proof that nothing beats the quality of knowing exactly what goes into your food. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on preserving the bounty of your garden. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.